Welcome back to Global Conversations. I'm Thabo, joining from Johannesburg, 2115 here.
And I'm Áine, coming to you from Naas, just gone 1915. Good to be back, Thabo.
Episode 2, and we said last time this was going to be a big one. The Stamp 4 to Irish citizenship journey. Áine, you've been through this process. Where do we even start?
At the beginning, which for most South Africans landing in Ireland starts with a work permit or a work visa. That's your entry point. You're not thinking about citizenship on day one. You're thinking about getting your paperwork in order and getting paid.
Right, so walk us through it. What are the actual stages?
Okay, so the broad path looks like this. You arrive on some form of visa or permit, could be a critical skills employment permit, a general employment permit, or if you're lucky, an intra-company transfer. That gets you legal status to work. After 2 years on a qualifying permit, you can apply for Stamp 4.
And Stamp 4 is the big milestone everyone talks about. What actually changes when you get it?
Everything, practically speaking. Stamp 4 means you no longer need an employment permit to work. You can change jobs freely, work for any employer, even be self-employed. For a lot of people, it's the first time they feel genuinely settled, like they're not tied to one employer anymore.
That's massive, because on a work permit, if you lose your job or want to move companies, it gets complicated fast.
Exactly. The permit is tied to your employer, so you're somewhat dependent on that relationship working out. Stamp 4 removes that. It's renewable. You keep renewing it until you hit the residency threshold for naturalization.
Which brings us to citizenship. How long does that actually take?
The rule is 5 years of continuous reckonable residence in Ireland. So from the day you first legally arrived, not from when you got Stamp 4, from your first entry, you're counting towards 5 years.
5 years from arrival, not from Stamp 4. That's an important distinction a lot of people miss.
Critical distinction. A lot of people think the clock starts at Stamp 4 and get a nasty surprise when they check the actual rule. It's 5 years of legal residence total, with certain conditions. Your permission must have been current throughout, and you can't have had too many gaps or absences.
Speaking of absences, what's the rule there? Because people go home to visit family, take holidays. Does that break the continuity?
No, normal absences don't break it, but there's a 6-week per year guideline that's generally considered safe. Go over that regularly and it could raise questions when you apply. The last year before your application is treated more strictly too. You're expected to have been present in Ireland for most of it.
So if someone arrived in Ireland in, say, 2022 on a work permit, when could they realistically apply for citizenship?
They'd be looking at 2027 at the earliest for the naturalization application, assuming continuous legal residence and no significant gaps. Then add processing time on top. The Department of Justice has been running at roughly 12 to 24 months to process applications.
12 to 24 months just for processing. That's a long time to be waiting.
It is. And during that period, you can't travel on an Irish passport, obviously. You're still on your original passport. Though you can still travel just on whatever permission you hold at the time.
What about the application itself? What does it actually involve?
It's called the Naturalisation application. You submit it to the Irish Naturalisation and Immigration Service, INIS. You'll need to provide proof of residence for the full 5 years. So this means holding on to everything. Pay slips, utility bills, lease agreements, bank statements, employer letters, year-by-year evidence of where you lived and that you had valid immigration permission throughout.
So the paperwork game starts on day one, really. You need to be keeping records from the moment you arrive.
From literally day one. Don't throw away pay slips. Keep copies of every permission letter, every renewal, every IRP card. People who are casual about this early on find themselves scrambling years later trying to reconstruct a paper trail.
IRP card. Explain that for people who don't know what it is yet.
Irish Residence Permit. It's the physical card that proves your immigration status and your current stamp. Every time your permission is renewed or changes category, you get a new IRP card. Keep every single one of them, even the expired ones.
What else do people not know going in?
The language requirement catches people off guard. You need to declare that you intend to continue living in Ireland and that you have a basic knowledge of Irish or English. For South Africans, the English part isn't an issue, but you do need to formally declare it in the application.
And there's a good character requirement too, isn't there?
Yes, you declare that you're of good character, and the Garda, that's the Irish police, do a background check as part of the process. So any criminal record matters here.
What about family? If you're married, does your spouse get citizenship automatically?
No, not automatically. A spouse of an Irish citizen can apply after 3 years of marriage and legal residence, rather than a standard 5, though it shortens the timeline, but it's still a separate application. Kids born in Ireland after 2005 are not automatically Irish either, another common misconception.
So every family member is a separate application, separate process.
Separate application, separate fees, separate processing time. Plan accordingly and budget for it.
Let's talk money. What does this all cost?
The naturalization fee is currently €1,000 per adult. There's a reduced fee for widows, widowers, and certain other categories. Children's applications are €200. And that's just the government fee. Doesn't include any legal advice or agent fees if you use one.
Worth getting legal advice, or can people do it themselves?
Most people do it themselves. The process is well documented and INIS has guidance available. But if your situation is complicated, if you had gaps in residence, a change of immigration status, anything unusual, it's worth getting at least a consultation with an immigration solicitor before you submit. Mistakes or missing documents cause delays, and delays mean more months of waiting.
Okay, let's do the summary, the full realistic timeline, start to finish.
Arrive on a qualifying permit, year 1 and 2. Apply for Stamp 4 at the 2-year mark. Processing takes a few months, so realistically you have Stamp 4 by mid-year 3. Continue building your 5 years of reckonable residence. At the 5-year mark, submit your naturalization application with full documentation. Wait 12 to 24 months for processing. Attend your citizenship ceremony, and that's it. You're Irish.
So from landing in Ireland to holding an Irish passport, realistically 7 to 8 years.
For most people, yes. It sounds like a long time, and honestly, it is. But the Stamp 4 milestone at year 2 is the one that changes your day-to-day life most. The citizenship at the end is the formal finish line, but the freedom starts much earlier.
Any final advice for someone who's just landed and thinking about this long game?
3 things. Keep every document from day 1. Don't trust yourself to remember where you put things. Register with your local Garda station for your IRP card as soon as you arrive. Don't put it off. And check the INIS website regularly. Rules and processing times do change, and you want to be working with the most current information, not advice someone gave you 2 years ago.
Keep records, register early, check the current rules. Solid.
And don't be put off by the timeline. 7 or 8 years sound long, but it goes fast when you're building a life. By the time you're sitting in that citizenship ceremony, you'll look back and it'll feel worth every step.
That's episode 2. Áine, thank you. Really useful breakdown of something a lot of people find confusing and stressful.
Happy to help. This stuff should be clearer than it is. Hopefully this episode saves someone a headache.
Next episode, we're talking money, specifically how South Africans tend to approach finances differently when they move abroad, what works, what doesn't, and how to build real financial security in a new country.
That one's going to hit close to home for a lot of people.
Until then, keep the fire going.
And mind the rain.
Catch you next time.